Hey, my name's Nick Griffin and I'm here to talk about the advertising industry and actually the next big winner in digital advertising. So you've had that situation where you go to the website of your favourite fund manager, and I would echo Hamish's sentiments earlier that this is rose fight and it's full of wonderful information. But when you actually leave the site and you start going around the internet for the rest of the day, whether you're on your mobile phone or whether you're reading a global newspaper or even when you're shopping for Coles, these irritating ads keep following you around the internet for some fund manager you've never actually heard of. These are actually called targeted programmatic ads. They're the villains of the advertising industry today. But what I'm about to show you is how they're soon going to become the heroes. So look, our message today is fairly simple. Advertising spend on all media will go 100% digital and eventually 100% programmatic. The streaming wars mean this inflection is actually happening right now. And who will win from this shift? The trade desk. So before I talk about the trade desk, just a quick history lesson. This is a slide showing the advertising market over the last 10 years. And what it essentially shows you is that ad dollars follow eyeballs. The more time we spent looking at our desktop and our mobile phone, the more ad dollars went there. And now today, we have nearly 50% of all ads are delivered over digital platforms, causing huge disruption to this green bar at the top, which is effectively traditional media. Now, what we now know is this was a huge win for this created two gigantic companies, being Facebook and Google. They too employed programmatic ad techniques. They just did a lot better than everybody else. And so we're actually quite fond of this chart, if you can actually be fond of an Excel chart. But we first built it back in 2012, and it was around the time of the Facebook IPO. And it helped us understand that the shift to mobile advertising would be a huge beneficiary to Facebook and Google. And every year we would update this slide every year, and we'd always wonder, how far can digital get? How long can this go on for? And what we began to realize in the last couple of years is actually the whole thing's going to go blue. Digital's going to take over the whole thing. And the streaming wars are going to start this, and it's actually really good for our friends in programmatic advertising. And so my key point here is the streaming wars are actually going to start the next big shift. Disney Plus was launched this week. I don't know if anyone signed up, but 10 million people did in the US on the first day. And the reason why this is important is because Disney is effectively disrupting itself. It's collapsing a business model whereby it distributes over TV partners all around the world to now going to you direct with a digital offering. Now that they've done it, everyone else is going to follow, and you're going to be inundated with direct TV offers, both ad-supported and subscription over the next few years. And the key thing to note here is that all the best content's going to digital TV, so eyeballs will follow. And just like mobile and desktop before it, digital TV is going to be the next big platform for delivering digital ads. The programmatic guys have a big role to play here, because the ad that I see when I watch digital TV can be different to the ad that you see while we watch the same program, even live sport. And the same thing's going to happen with out-of-home radio, even podcasts, etc. And so we actually see a tenfold increase in the inventory available for the programmatic players. But what's weird is someone to bring all this stuff together. Enter the trade desk, the world's largest independent programmatic advertising company, founded in 2009 by our modern-day madman today, Jeff Green. Now, Jeff is actually one of the inventors of real-time bidding on ad exchanges. He sold his first company to Microsoft in 2008. And in 2009, he left to launch his next big idea. And his next big idea was to create the new trading floor of internet advertising that would facilitate price discovery and liquidity in the way public markets had for hundreds of years. So the best way to think about the trade desk is it's a bit like a Bloomberg terminal. It's a software platform to allow you to go out into the internet and buy ad inventory and then get real-time reporting back so you can manage your programmatic campaign on the go. And when we actually go out to see media buyers these days and we see their programmatic trading desks, they actually look a lot like the investment banking desk at a large trading bank. But instead of a bunch of people sitting around trading Blue Star Airlines, there's a bunch of people sitting around trading ad inventory for men in their 40s who live in Sydney who are currently watching Love Island. It's okay, we watch it in Melbourne as well. So if you're an ad buyer today, you essentially have a choice. You can go to Facebook and Google and target your ad across potentially billions of people, and they'll do that for you. Or you can go to a demand-side platform like the Trade Desk. And the Trade Desk will essentially use big data to consolidate and also target your ad across the open internet, across thousands of potential digital properties. The key thing to understand here is there's a genuine need for a company like the Trade Desk to exist. There are genuine network effects at play here. Media companies want to give them data to allow them to increase the value of their ad inventory, and the ad buyers want access to that inventory at the right price to improve the value of their campaign. The trade desk isn't competing with Facebook and Google, media is. And a third-party platform like the trade desk helps them do it. More people on the platform, better the platform gets. And the real opportunity here is to do this across, as I said, all devices. And the trade desk is ahead of the game here, with 76% of revenue now coming from non-display sources. Now, I want to be clear here, the trade desk is not the only demand-side platform out there. There are others, but they have a unique offering of offering a straight-through pricing on all money spent on the platform, not a fee for performance. And the platform has grown like a weed over the last 9 years to $3.2 billion today, giving them a 10% share of the entire programmatic industry. So what we're going to do now is make some forecasts. And before we do, and here we return to the chart, that I started with. But before we do, I wanted to make a couple of quick points. Facebook and Google are not net losers from this trend, okay? They're going to be fine. They're still core holdings in our fund. The second thing I'd say is if you look on the left here, the trade desk is not a cheap stock today on any standard measure. And if you came here looking for a deep value idea, I suggest you look at some of that mining stuff they were talking about earlier, because this is not the one for you. But here's the opportunity. The trade desk is just a $10 billion market cap company today with a huge opportunity in front of it. New forms of digital advertising are going to open up, and the trade desk, we see programmatic advertising growing its share of the inventory, of the advertising market, from 5 to 10% over the next 5 years. We see the trade desk growing its share of programmatic from 10 to 20% over the same time frame, effectively making a double grower, growing share in a growing industry. And what we can actually ultimately see is $1 billion in EBITDA by 2025, which should give you multi-times your money should this play out if you invested today. But more importantly, there's a strong sense of deja vu here. This could be the start of the next big shift as advertising spending on media goes 100% digital and 100% programmatic. Just like back in 2012 when we saw the shift to mobile, the next big shift to digital advertising is happening right now. And it's the big one, TV. But unlike the last time, no one media company can own this next shift outright. The streaming wars will take care of that. But one trading platform can. And the trade desk looks well placed to be that platform. Thanks very much for listening.